Yo guys, what is up? Mr. Chelsea 101 here with another review. Um, Again, apologies it's late. I did say in the preview that I was going to be out all day, so it's going to be tough for me to review, but I've watched the match, um, fast forwarding certain bits of it because I recorded it, read the BBC stuff, so I know what I'm doing. So let's start off. The team sheet from my preview, I was pretty accurate. I said I thought that we would play kind of the standard Premier League team, um, especially the front three of Oscar, Willian, and Hazard behind uh, the striker. Although I was wrong because I did think that Torres would start and Eto started. Um, Maybe Mourinho has been more pleased with his work rate, and maybe Torres isn't back to full fitness. Um, yeah, and we had obviously we had Terry back from injury, so it was Terry and Cahill as our centre backs, um, Ivanovic and Azpilicueta as our left and right back, and then the centre midfielders we had Lampard and Matic, and I thought it might be that combination, but I was hoping for Ramirez Matic start because I do feel. Against a team like Everton, that would be our strongest combination because we kind of got the pace of Ramirez to be free, with the kind of defensive capabilities of Matic, and obviously Lampard is still a quality player, one of my favourite players. But I just feel that Ramirez gives us that extra burst of pace, as we saw later in the game. So to start things off, I'll go over Everton's team sheet quickly. So Everton, for those of you who don't know, Everton did quite a strong lineup. They didn't start Lassina Traore, which is what I expected. Was he injured? I don't know. I didn't pay enough attention into it. Um, yeah, injury blow. Yeah, see, I didn't even hear about that. Um, it was in the Metro 6 hours ago, apparently, so maybe it was today. Um, but yeah, I guess that was good news because I think he would have caused us some serious problems, like I said in the preview. Um, okay, so they started with. Uh, I'm just trying to see if there's any surprises that I could talk about. Um, Not particularly. The two Everton players before we start, I want to talk about because I want to highlight the fact that they were class today, guys. Were Distan and Jagielka as that defensive partnership. Absolutely outstanding quality from what I saw. Um, Stoked to have Cahill and Jagielka as our centre back partnership for the World Cup because I think they'll be so solid because obviously Jagielka is a bit more experienced than Cahill and he's really come into his own the last couple of seasons. And I think he's a real kind of John Terry leadership figure for Everton. Um, and Sylvan Distan was outstanding today. I think he got the man of the match. Yeah, they just look quality. They were able to really fizzle out our attacks, which is what I'm going to go into. So the game kicked off. Um, it was quite kind of frenetic at the start, but it was pretty much Everton dominating for the first kind of 5 minutes or so, like completely. I think it was 74% possession or something like that, and then it fizzled out a bit. But a lot of the first half was Everton pressing, which is always risky with this Chelsea side because I do feel that when we're not playing the kind of free flow football that we played with Di Matteo and Benitez, although we're playing, excuse me, kind of more secure football, when we do go behind, I kind of feel that it's going to be a bit harder to get the goal, especially with um, Torres kind of in and out of injury this season and Eto not really finding consistent form. Whereas last season, although Torres was relatively inconsistent, he was still fairly consistent, especially at home in home games, not so much in the league. But but yeah, and we also had Demirbay, who's not really even featured recently. Um, but yeah, we were being pressed a lot by Everton. They kept a lot of the ball, which I expected them to. As a Roberto Martinez side, they're going to play ball, guys. So even though we had kind of 48% possession overall in the game or something, or 47%, um, it's disappointing at home. But also they are a team that really keeps the ball. Um, and although our team, Mourinho's team, is a team to press, we don't focus so much on the passing, on the kind of the tiki taka elements, which is what Michael Laudrup does at Swansea, what Brandon Rodgers did at Swansea, and does a bit less at Liverpool because they're more kind of free flow attacking. Um, but yeah, so that was always going to be tricky. And Everton are a good side, so yeah. So as the game went on, it was it was a lot. It was very balanced. Everton had some good chances, uh, but then Howard made a fantastic save from Ivanovic in the second half. At least I think it was the second half, and the yeah, as the game continued, things just got more kind of frantic. Obviously, we really wanted the 3 points, and it is a massive 3 points to get. because pressing and pressing, getting more of the ball. Ramirez in the 87th or so minute with a fantastic shot from about 25 yards, kind of scooped round, just literally just wide, and then obviously uh, Lampard. We got the free kick from Ramirez, who was outstanding when he came on, really injected that pace. Lampard delivers, and it was in the end, unfortunately, a Tim Howard own goal, but credit to Terry. I mean, he got it in there. Fantastic play, fantastic header, fantastic set piece. And just the relief and the joy of having that point. I really, because again, I was out for the game. I really wasn't sure what was going to happen, and just oh man, to see we scored in the 91st, 92nd minute, excuse me, of added time, or second minute of added time, it's just outstanding. Um, yeah, so a massive, massive point. Obviously, that leaves us 1 point ahead of Arsenal, and 3 points ahead of City, although City have the game in hand. So uh, yeah, let's just keep this momentum. I need to look up when City have got their game in hand, um, just to check when they'll be playing that, because it'd be nice to get as many kind of points going as we can before City play that game. Our next game is Galatasaray, um, midweek for Champions League, and our next league game is Fulham at Craven Cottage. So again, I kind of go into these games saying they're going to be tricky, but I do feel this one will, because Felix Magath is a quality coach. He really works his players, so I think this Fulham side is going to be a lot more difficult to break down. Um, so yeah, so we really need to kind of blitz them, I think, at Craven Cottage. Um, but yeah, fantastic win. I'm sorry this review was quite vague. Again, I didn't watch the match until tonight and this evening, and I kind of skipped bits of it because I wanted to get this review out. But yeah, it was a good match, as Jose said. It was a good match despite the almost 0-0 till the end. I think uh, Everton. You could perhaps argue that Everton deserved more, but we played fantastically well in the final kind of 15 or so minutes. Hazard with a couple of good chances, Schürrle with like a volley. That was another good point. There was a cross in, and Schürrle kind of tried to pull off this volley. It looked good, but it was just miles over. I'm not sure what to make of Schürrle at the moment, because I do like him. I think he's quality. I follow European football, and in the Bundesliga last season, he was outstanding. So, it remains to be seen what's going to happen with that. But yeah, obviously we need a striker to kind of help these games, put these games to bed. Not even put these games to bed, just to give us more power and prowess in attacking. And Oscar looked tired. That's the other point I want to make. Oscar looked so tired, and I think the whole team was still a bit groggy, but less groggy than the City results. Hopefully, we can get that out of our system, that grogginess, for the Champions League game. But yeah, Oscar looked tired. Rest Oscar, Jose, because he needs a rest. Maybe start with Schürrle. Salah's cup tied, isn't he? In the Champions League, so maybe start with Schürrle, Willian, and Hazard. But I do think that we need to rest Oscar for a couple of games, because I don't want him to burn out and have a nuzzle. So yeah, please comment, rate, subscribe, guys. Yeah, sorry for the late review. Enjoy yourselves and enjoy match of the day. Peace. Keep the blue. I do that every video now. Keep the blue flag flying high. See you later.